Hi, my name is Antonio Coletti. I was born Greek and Italian. My father was born and raised in Italy by two Italian parents, and my mother was raised by two parents who were born and raised in Greece themselves. I was raised by two parents with two different cultures and languages from two different countries. Because my mother's parents immigrated to the States with friends and family, the Greek culture and language stayed alive within their house and impacted their children's culture and language. Because my dad immigrated to the United States on his own, his family still lives in Italy, and the only way I can connect with them is by speaking with them over the phone. Traveling to an entirely different country is almost impossible with my family of six, so I've had to grow up trying to learn to speak Italian as a chance to connect with Italy. The same doesn't apply for the Greek language because I have been so surrounded by my mother's parents that I should fluently know the language by now. But from little, I've always had a connection with my Greek culture since I grew up being fed Greek foods like gyros, spanakopita, and bougatsa. Greek culture has a little bit more depth than Italian culture in my life for many reasons, mainly because my father is the only person from his side of the family in the United States. My mom's parents immigrated to America with an entire community, meaning they brought not only their language but their culture as well. My mother and grandmother have shown me several Greek line dances and songs that are fun to dance to throughout my life. One specific dance that I have mastered comes from my grandmother's village. It's called the Hyotigo dance, and it's only danced in my mother's village because the dance formation was historically used as a way for Greeks to hide from the Turks that invaded the island of Chios years ago. Unlike Greek music, Italian music has more meaning in the lyrics than the beat, so I tend to listen to the language of what's being said in the song. But I didn't always appreciate these Greek dances my mother taught me, or even the Italian songs my father would translate for me. Sometimes I just wanted to be like all the normal Americanized kids that I went to school with until I transferred schools my 8th to ninth grade year. The original school district I attended had one or two fellow Greek and Italian students, but none of them even had a clear understanding of their culture because of how far long ago their descendants immigrated to America. Meanwhile, my father came to America 20 years ago and made a life for himself with $60 and no knowledge of the English language. My mother's parents immigrated to the United States in their early 20s. My grandmother immigrated legally on a passenger boat, while my grandfather jumped off of an oil ship he worked on that made a stop in New York City. So the confusion I'm faced with is, which country do I side with more? Do I connect to the language and culture of Greece more, or do I connect heavier with Italy? The answer is neither. I've chosen the route that is not only the most confusing, but also the most satisfying in my opinion. When I think about my Greek side, I think about all the music and foods I've come to fall in love with, but I really don't appreciate the language as much as the Italian language. Here comes the confusion. I connect largely with the linguistics of Italy and largely with the cultural aspects of Greece. You might ask why. But if you look back to how I was raised, wouldn't it make sense? My mother's parents tried forcing so many Greek aspects into my life that I rejected the language and only tried learning Italian. I figured that there needed to be some balance between the two countries. Years later, I look back with no regrets because I believe I did what was best to incorporate not only aspects of Greece into my life, but also aspects of Italy.